thought it was. Good morning! Good morning! And welcome to Beacon Unitarian Universalist Congregation in Summit. My name is Dana Moore. I use she, her pronouns, and I am your youth program coordinator. I have the privilege of working with your Beacon Youth Community's high school youth group, whom you will hear from today, and alongside our phenomenal Lifespan Ministry team, which includes Dr. Tuli Patel, Jermaine Kripe, and myself. I am a member of the global majority, a descendant of enslaved Africans, slaughtered natives, interned Asians, massacred Jews, domineering whites, and sharp-witted survivors. My identity is complex and includes all of these truths, all of these experiences and shared histories, the imperfect and gut-wrenching and liberating human history that brings us all together today in this moment. It is a celebrated history, friends. A history that empowers me as a Black woman to stand before you today wearing my beautiful brown skin, my beacon blue dress, and this great big smile on my face as I welcome you to worship in this sacred, radically inclusive religious community that feeds the human spirit and heals the world. And so again, I say welcome. Welcome to those joining us in person for the first time after a long time, and those joining us online. Good morning. For no matter where we are a sanctuary people, a plural faith, welcoming the free and responsible search for truth, the exploration of that which stirs the heart and calls us to center love, fairness, generosity, and a commitment to transformation, to be a sanctuary people of radical love, radical welcome, and radical inclusivity. Breathe that in, friends. This is where you are. This is who you are. And you are so welcome. After our services today, we'd love to invite you to join us for a dosa party. Dosas are made of lentil and rice and filled with yummy deliciousness like potatoes and spices. There is still time to grab a ticket if you haven't yet. So see your Spark, see the QR code, or see Tuli in the back of the sanctuary. We'd also like to invite you to a question and answer session with our nominating committee at 12:15 today. So 12:15 Q&A, 12:30 dosa party. And with that, friends, we welcome you to worship.
Hello, beloved. I am Abby Laney. I am one of the youth leaders here in our congregation. This is going to take a while. I am a 5'5", on a good day 5'6", with these heels about 5'9", brown skin, medium length, dark-haired teen girl.
Hello, I am Hannah. I'm another one of the youth leaders. I am an average height, white teen with mid-length brown hair, a purple sweater, and glasses.
So, beloved, I have this feeling, right, not inside my bones, that we have a bit of a habit when we walk up on this chancel together. And usually it leads to something, sometimes good, sometimes meh. What are we doing?
I don't remember. I don't. Lois?
We just worked on this
Lois,
last night.
do you know what we're doing?
I think I do.
What are we doing?
Is it a rendition of Uptown Funk?
Oh, it is a rendition of Uptown Funk. Now that I think about it. Oh, should we do this?
I think.
I think they
Why
want
not?
this.
Let's
I think
go
they
for it.
want this. This church, this great spot, light it up, that chalice hot. This one for them you use are straight masterpieces. Singing, learning, living it up every week. Got heels on,
With shades too.
gotta count ourselves, we're ready. Chalice hot, hot yeah. Called up all our chaplain, chalice hot.
Hot, yeah.
Make a reverend wanna retire, man, chalice hot.
Hot, yeah.
Say our name, you know who we are, chalice hot yeah. And we're glad to be here. Break it down. We're here in our blue.
Boat.
We're here in our blue.
Boat.
We're here in our blue.
Boat.
Cause you service gon' give it to you. Cause you service gon' give it to you. Cause you service gon' give it to you. Sunday morning we in the spot. Don't believe us, just watch.
Don't believe us, just watch.
Don't believe us, just watch. Stop.
Is this what you usually do?
Wait a minute. Fill our time, put some fun in it. Take a breath, start around. Chad, bring the games. Ride to pizza, ice cream, even the basement. If we show up, we gon' show out. Better than a full day of school. Chow's hot yeah. Cause youth service gon' give it to you. Cause youth service gon' give it to you. Cause youth service gon' give it to you. Sunday morning we in the spot. Don't believe us, just watch.
Good morning. My name is Devin Nato. I use he, him pronouns, and I am the member of the youth group here at this congregation. Today, I will be leading hymns along with Chad Petrove, and our adult guide in the youth group, and Dana Moore, who is our youth program coordinator, and our phenomenal director of music ministry, Misa Iwama. Please rise as you are able to sing hymn number 1023.
We will sing this in rounds. After we sing the first verse together, the right side of the room will sing along with Devin, the left along with Chad and I.
Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony.
Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you
Between our divisions, I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmonies. Building bridges between our divisions, I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Friends, we could make such sweet harmony.
Please be seated.
Good morning, beloveds.
Hi, Lois.
My name is Lois, and my pronouns are she, her. I am a 5'7", slightly above average height, brown hair, brown-eyed girl, and today we are going to do our chalice lighting. Can I get a volunteer to light our chalice with us this morning? Yes, you in the baseball cap back there. Both. This morning, we light this chalice as a symbol of inclusion, a reminder that our faith calls us to welcome, embrace, and uplift one another. May this flame start in us not only the words of acceptance, but the energy of action, the commitment to build a world where all are seen, all are heard, and all belong. Let this light guide in us as we move beyond good intentions and into the work of justice, kindness, and love. In this shared time, we find the strength, connection, and the power to create true belonging for ourselves, for each other, and for all. Now, I think it's time for the Wonder Box. Can I have another volunteer up there in the red to open our Wonder Box for us today? Just gonna wait for them to come down. We do need a little travel music. Can we get a... like a 5-second...
We are a consenting community.
Can you tell us your name and your age?
My name is Nash Beard. My age is 9.
Do you want to open the Wonder Box for us?
Yes, please.
Just like that. Can you tell us what's in it?
Croissants.
Oh, thank you. Hey, Reverend Robin. I don't think those croissants were for eating. They were for our Wonder Box.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want a croissant, Nash? No? Okay. All right. Are you sure? Because they're pretty delicious, and I didn't have breakfast, so I don't know. I think they're for breakfast.
I don't know. I think those were for our service today. Our service that's about inclusion.
Oh. I guess that's a slightly deeper message than my breakfast.
Well, inclusion, which is what our service is about today. Just like the last time we held a service, we encouraged everyone to form croissants, not donuts, because donuts cut off other people from our conversations. It creates a very small circle of community, of conversation, and instead, today, we want to form croissants, where we are welcoming others into our conversations and our community.
Ah, I think I get it. So like when we're down in social hour or at the DOSA party, we don't want to circle up like this so that no one can get into our conversation, but we want to be a croissant with an open space.
Exactly.
To be inclusive.
Yeah.
You know, diversity, equity, and inclusion are under a little bit of attack right now, right? And it's pretty scary for a lot of people, including many of us here in this room, because diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DE, is about many things. It's about race, it's about gender, it's about sexual orientation, gender identity, culture, age, and disabilities.
It's about fairness and community. Protecting and truly including people in the essential pieces of our community.
But it feels massive a lot of times. Does anyone feel like the decisions that are being made, you don't have any power, you can't do anything about it? Does anyone ever feel like that? Like all these changes are happening? But I think what you're reminding us, Lois, and I really appreciate it, is that we do have power. We do have power even right here in our Beacon community.
DEI might be scrubbed from a website, but it does not mean that it has to be scrubbed from our lives. Our schools might pull back on Black History Month, but we here at Beacon can celebrate Black History Month every year, every month, all the time. We get to choose what kind of community we want to be every day.
I just have one more question.
Yes, Reverend Robin?
Can I still eat my croissant?
Only if you share, Reverend Robin. Only if you share.
All right, Lois.
Thank you.
Good morning, Beacon. Good morning. Check, 1, 2. Today, Maya and I will be sharing with you a canon for 2 cellos for the Canon a Due Violoncelli by Domenico Gabrielli. He was an Italian Baroque composer who died very young, actually, at the age of 29, and wrote his work in the late 17th century, one of the first virtuoso cello players, actually, in the Western classical lexicon. And the reason why we selected this piece is because a lot of times, Maya and I, we've played a lot of chamber music and cellos, quartets, etc. But a lot of the times those chamber pieces tend to be pretty hierarchical, so not very inclusive. So the melody may be a little heavy on, for instance, the violin part if it's a string quartet, or it's just not very equitable many times in terms of the distribution of the sophistication of the music. And so what's beautiful about the canon is we're playing the same part, just staggered at different time intervals. So we're going to share it with you, and we thought it would be fun. So yeah. So.
Are we tuning?
Oops. I did not bring my tuner, so we're going to hear it. Can we get an A? Thank you.
Now's the time for our youth up to fourth graders to head off to your small groups. Good morning. My name is Steve Kramer. I am a white male. I'm not youthful, and I have gray hair and a gray goatee. And I'm here with Chad Petrove.
I use he, him pronouns. I'm a young adult with extra years of experience. Clean shaven with shortly cropped brown hair. I'm wearing gray slacks and a white shirt today. Steve and I have the honor of being adult guides for the senior youth group.
Hey, Chad, have you been following the news lately? We have a new public enemy number one.
Really?
Yeah, it's, what is it? It's diversity, equity, and inclusion, or also known as notorious DEI.
Oh crap, Steve, we might be in trouble.
Why is that?
Because we were just being inclusive. We started by sharing our pronouns. We're both cisgendered males, but we didn't want anyone to make an assumption about our pronouns. And we were also letting people know that if they shared their pronouns with us, we would honor those. And oh crap, we were also sharing our visual descriptions. And that's being inclusive as well, because we don't want to assume everyone has the same visual capacity. Oh, man.
Wait, is that being inclusive? Isn't that just being a decent human being? What's going to happen when they find out about the youth group practice of croissant, not donuts?
You know, the first time I heard that, I thought our youth group just had a really obsessive pastry preference.
No. As Lois explained, it's a great idea that you can apply anywhere. When you're standing with a group of people, you keep it open like a croissant and not closed like a donut. And that's what the youth group does.
Yep. And, you know, I have a very distinct memory of when I first came to youth group, and it was when your daughter Emmy was one of our co-leaders, and I was new to the group. We were popcorning around doing our check-in question, and I was really afraid that, you know, I was going to be the last person because nobody knew me. And somebody that didn't know me that well called on me before the end, and it just made me feel really included.
Well, both my daughters were in the youth group, and they were there for that reason. They felt included. It was a great relief from the pressures of high school to be someplace where they could fully be themselves. And that's something that has a value that has stuck with them and that they look for now when they're out in the world.
Well, it is our goal to help raise confident, compassionate, and resilient children and youth, because we believe the children are our future.
Chad, listen, I'm sorry, you can't continue. We couldn't get the rights for that song. I'm so sorry. But look, these are times when it can seem kind of bleak, but Chad and I and the other youth advisors who come here every Sunday get to see more than a ray of hope. But when we see the youth who are modeling the behavior and the values that we want in our whole society, we realize that there's a lot to look forward to. And thank you, yeah. And it's supported by Beacon, which believes in diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so we are now going to, we hope that you will support Beacon's efforts. And we'll now have the offering.
This morning's offering will now be graciously received.
And gratefully.
And gratefully.
All right, guys, as I play, please sing along, clap your hands if you know the words. Thank you, Phoenix. Can we get one more round of applause? Come on. Let's hear it. That guitar is majestic and actually perfect segue into the reflection I'll be giving today. My name is Sammy, Korean, and I'm an average height, brown-skinned, black-haired, hold on, I'm trying to, who am I? A legal adult. So, thank you, though. You know, my mother, Dr. Tilly Patel, is continually reminding me how much growing up I have left to do. But, rocking all denim. Music is the freedom of expression, the voice of the soul, and the sound of the heart. Beautiful words, right? Yeah, I didn't say that. That's all Duke Ellington. According to evolutionary psychology, music is the primordial language, the dialect of our DNA. It is a language that transcends borders and species alike, shared between families, friends, the birds and squirrels. No one is excluded. No one is discriminated against. Music is capable of bridging any and all cultural divides, personal ideals, and political affiliations. It is the universal tongue. In an era where words so often divide, riddled with venom and vitriol, misconstrued and misaligned, music remains a sanctuary of open-hearted communication. It sets no barriers to entry, mandates no highbrow concepts or some esoteric knowledge, and it's not bound by economics or class. It is the purest form of human communication. Yet the magic of music is not in preaching, as perhaps I'm doing now, but in playing. Not in talking, but in taking and intaking. Not in boasting or gossiping or yapping, as our generation is apt to say, but in giving and sharing, listening and receiving. In the summer of 2023, I was trapped at Newark Airport alongside some 50 of my fellow musicians in the New Jersey Youth Symphony, bound for a musical performance tour to Italy. It was my first trip without my parents, and I was super excited. Donning the NJYS merch at the time, we teens were thrilled for the adventure ahead of us, and we couldn't wait for our journey to begin. But, there's always a but. Our 8 p.m. flight was delayed, and delayed, and delayed. Midnight passes, still delayed, still no plane. With every passing hour, our excitement dwindled. Every one of us was irritated and exhausted, locked in our individual zones of misery. We tried to remain positive by playing chess, eating, sprinting around the airport. It was then that our symphony conductor, Helen Chapio, launched what I now like to call Operation Inclusion. Even if the plane wouldn't take off, there was no reason why we couldn't uplift our spirits skyward. But it would take all of us working together. All the players with instruments on them, violins, violas, clarinets, and French horns, assembled for an impromptu performance of the Star-Spangled Banner. But what about those of us who didn't have our instruments? For example, we celli, we were going to rent in Italy, so how could we be included? We were indeed included. We held up the music, the sheet music, for our orchestra mates to play as they did not have any stands. There was a buzz in the air, and an excitement began to build. Almost immediately, as Helen lifted her baton and our ensemble blasted out the first few chords, the mood in the airport shifted like that. Disgruntled, weary passengers looked up from their phones, annoyance sloughing off as they tuned into our performance. I'm not exaggerating when I say in minutes, there were cheers and applause, laughter, a few folks were dancing, and even a capture on the local news. Quick thinking by our conductor there. Music had transformed our alienated bubbles of bottled up frustration into inclusivity, appreciation, and community. As a powerful tool, music creates safe spaces and emboldens brave spaces. I learned this when I was exposed to the works of William Grant Still, Florence Price, and Margaret Bonds, important artists to uplift in honoring the legacy of Black History Month. In the 1964 Montgomery Variations, Margaret Bonds vivifies the legacy, the pain, the frustration, the trauma of the civil rights movement. In the fifth of the 7 movements, a series of unexpected percussive sounds jolts the listener out of a soothing melody, just as the 1963 bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church shattered lives and communities. Similarly, in Price's Jubidance, a dissonant whistle flits in and out at unexpected intervals throughout the piece. At first, it feels like a mistake, improper and out of place. It leaves behind this sharp, bitter, sour taste that you just want to spit out. But gradually, you realize that it's the very disruption that makes the piece whole. It forces us to listen differently, to sit with that discomfort, to embrace the unexpected. The wisdom of Price and Bonds and many others is to intentionally invoke that disturbance and aversion and contraction that we are liable to shrink into upon hearing the stridence and dissonance in our lives. But what on the surface appears to be friction is actually the connective tissue, the thread which you listen for. It is the beauty in the beast. My point is simply this. When we include the dissonant elements, when we welcome in the uncomfortable and befriend the very demons that plague us, our lives and our society, our lives become richer, deeper, more meaningful, complete. To quote the legendary poet Rainer Maria Rilke, "Perhaps all the dragons in our lives are princesses who are only waiting to see us act just once with beauty and courage. Perhaps everything that frightens us is, in its deepest essence, something helpless that wants our love." So let us not be afraid to invite and include the dissonance, the fear, the anger, the despair, the frustration, and the discomfort chirping in our hearts, to take its hands and welcome it on stage, to feel into it and feel for it with no barriers, to let it sing its song as we listen. So may it be.
Hello again. My name is Hannah, and I am one of the chaplains for the senior youth group. As a chaplain, I work to extend the spiritual care of the youth group community by offering intentional compassion through presence and active listening. Chaplains also lead our weekly ritual of community candle lighting. Together, we light candles of joy, sorrow, and gratitude. This morning, we light a candle in honor of Black History Month for the president of our Unitarian Universalist Association, Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt. Rooted in her lived identities as a queer, multiracial, Afro-Latin, first-generation daughter of immigrants from Chile and Panama, Reverend Dr. Betancourt has already helped Unitarian Universalism live further into its commitments to be radically welcoming, counter-oppressive, and a pluralistic faith movement. We light a candle of mourning for Sam Nordquist, a trans man who was murdered in a hate crime in New York State. May he rest in power, and may we make a safer world for all our trans siblings. We light a candle of mourning for the deceased hostages returning from Israel, including the Bibas children, as well as the terror of the bombings and violence in Israel, the West Bank, and Gaza. We also light a candle of grave concern for the future of Gaza and the Palestinians returning there in light of the horrific plans of our own government. We light a candle of gratitude for inspiring leaders like Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, who shared this insight in his recent State of the State address. Tyranny requires your fear and your silence and your compliance. Democracy requires your courage. So gather your justice and humanity, Illinois, and do not let the tragic spirit of despair overcome us when our country needs us the most. we light a candle of sorrow for those impacted worldwide by the continued federal freeze on the U.S. Agency for International Development. USAID invests billions across the globe in education, healthcare, humanitarian assistance, infrastructure, and more. And already we are seeing the rippling impacts of our current administration's actions. As you come forward to light candles today, we invite you to listen to the music and hold conversation. We will be singing hymn 1009, Meditation on Breathing Together, as we light our candles.
Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out.
When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love.
I now invite you to join me in a brief time of silent meditation. Thank you. Now, we are going to sing hymn 1064, Blue Boat Home. You can rise when the Spirit moves you.
Hymn 1064.
Standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
Please be seated.
This one for the muse. Sorry. All right. Still stuck in my head. I was practicing that for 24 hours. I am Abby once again. Yeah, you have to hear from me again. Darn it. You thought you were free. Today, we reflect on the idea of inclusion, what it means, why it matters, and how we live it out in sadly one of the most familiar spaces in our lives. School. Yay. As a junior in high school, I have gone through 2 carry the 1 divided by 7, about 11 years or so of school. And there's a couple things that I've noticed. Schools, especially high schools, are more than just places of learning. They are communities. They are places where we spend hours and hours and more hours every day surrounded by people with different backgrounds, identities, and experiences. At its best, school can be a place where everyone feels seen, valued, and supported. But all of us also understand and know that that's not always the case. Exclusion happens. Exclusion happens sometimes in obvious ways like bullying or discrimination, and sometimes in quieter ways, like when certain voices are ignored, when someone is left out of a conversation, or when systems fail to support those who need it most. Our faith in Unitarian Universalism calls us to recognize the inherent worth and dignity of every person and to work towards justice, equity, and compassion in human relationships. Inclusion is not just about welcoming people, it's about creating a space where everyone belongs not as an afterthought, but as an essential part of the whole community. Let's think about the classroom. True inclusion means making sure that every student has access to the resources they need to succeed. It's why schools offer accommodations for students with disabilities, extra help for those students learning a subject they might not be able to fully grasp in one class period, and different ways of engaging with materials so no one is left behind. It's also about representation. For example, do the books on the shelves that we have to read and lessons we learn reflect the full range of human experiences? Do they allow all students to see themselves in the curriculum and discussions that we have to take part in every day? Let's think about the lunchroom. We all know how easy it is to see someone sitting alone and not think twice. But a simple invitation, a moment of recognition, can make all the difference to someone going through more that can be seen by the naked eye. Inclusion in any social space is about noticing who is being left out and making space for them, whether that's in a conversation, a group project, or a club meeting. I even found my best friend for just asking if she wanted to sit together during gym one day. It's about making sure that those who feel different do not feel alone. And think about leadership, not just leadership as in the administration, but even the student council or club leaders. Who gets a say in decisions? Who is encouraged to take on leadership roles, and who is overlooked? Inclusion means ensuring students from all backgrounds have opportunities to lead, be heard, and shape the community they are part of. It means advocating for policies that support all students, not just those who already feel at home. Inclusion isn't just a concept, it's something we create through our choices, our words, and our actions. It's in the way we show up for each other, in the way we challenge systems that leave people out, and in the way we make space for voices that are too often and way too often unheard. As you go out into the world today, tomorrow, every day, I ask that you look and wonder about a few vital questions. Where do you see inclusion in your schools or workplace? Where do you see exclusion? And how can you be part of building a community where no one has to question whether they belong? Because in the end, inclusion isn't just about making room for others, it's about building something together, something richer and stronger than any of us, and I mean any of us, alone could create.
Closing hymn is by Shoshana Jadweb. It is a congregational favorite called Where You Go, I Will Go. And this morning we will sing about our beloveds, our children, and our ancestors. So listen out for Misa, listen out for us, and sing along as joy fills you. Please rise as you are willing and able. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Lie. Where you lie, I will lie, beloved. Where you lie, I will lie. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Where you go, I will go. divine, my divine, you're divine. You're divine, my divine. You're divine. You're divine, my divine. Thank you. Hey, Abby, are your people here?
My people are here. They're everywhere.
Your people are my
I see that
people.
person. Your people? They're my people.
So amazing, isn't it?
And as we close out our service today, if we could rise and connect arms, hands, feet. Don't do feet. That's a little strange. Let us remember that inclusion isn't just a concept. It's something we create through our choices, our words, and our actions.
It's in the way we show up for each other, in the way we challenge systems that leave people out,
and in the way we make space for voices that are too often unheard.
Our faith calls us to be radically inclusive, to be and build the beloved community that feeds the human spirit and heals the world.
Beloved, may it be so.
Amen.